So let me give you the good news, no matter how bad the news is. That's always there. The banks have to lend. So when people say, well, you should save cash, why would you save cash? You can borrow. So, it's almost like the real estate owned. Remember those days? In 2008 and all that property was available, but the bank owned it. REOs are called, real estate owned. You could go to the bank and they said, look, you got this office building. Nobody wants it. Sell it to me. And the bank would actually loan you the money to buy the property. The secret to life is how much money can you borrow and how well can you manage that debt.
So let me say this much is that the easy part is raising the money. The hard part is managing the property. And I think that's what people forget because, when Kim and I first started out, the managing a property is the biggest business of all. But it also, if you're just a mom and pop, you can only manage so many properties.
So with doctors who, like I said, they make $1 million, they pay $600,000 in taxes. So when Kenny got up there and he says, I borrowed $300 million, all these doctors swarmed him, but they cannot borrow $300 million because they cannot do what Kenny does, which is manage. That's why they're stumping treasuries. That's why interest rates are so low. They need cash. They don't they sell T-bills is for cash. They need the dollar.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You should not be too concerned. Just got to be aware.
Lacey Hunt was one of the guys with the Dallas Fed, I think. And he was talking GDP, gross domestic product, equals money supply, M2, times velocity of money. When they measure GDP, they don't measure broken glass. That means, so they don't measure the losses. They measure the gains in GDP, but they don't measure the number of shops that are closed. I just want to say to people, to borrow $300 million, you've got to be absolutely spot on with the management. And as you know, management is a key for real estate, for business, for the government, everything. And if a person cannot manage, we're screwed. So as long as we have our management skills in, we'll do well. Like, I don't really care. As I said in front of the room, I said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Lacey Hunt was one of the guys with the Dallas Fed, I think. And he was talking GDP, gross domestic product, equals money supply, M2, times velocity of money. When they measure GDP, they don't measure broken glass. That means, so they don't measure the losses. They measure the gains in GDP, but they don't measure the number of shops that are closed. So ever since Lacey Hunt said that, I went to our friend's place, I'll mention his name, and he was trying to sell me the whole top floor of this building. And I walked into that. I turned it down because it's office space. I don't understand office. I understand apartment house. I don't understand office space. So I went into this office building I was supposed to buy. It was 70% empty. That's broken glass. And that means somebody is not receiving the monthly payment. So every time the Fed chairman, this guy Powell, gets up there and says, oh, we're issuing, we're going to print money. They don't print money. But everybody thinks when the Fed says we're printing money or quantitative, they think it's M2. The Fed doesn't print money. The Fed prints bank reserve. And the difference is we cannot spend bank reserve. It's not money. But everybody says, oh my God, there's going to be inflation because the Fed's printing money, but they're not printing money. They're printing bank reserve.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.